everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you how to create a masculine card with the Wilderness Awaits stamp set. And we're going to use one of the stamps that I don't see often used, and that's a sweet fox right here. And if you know anything about foxes, they like to hide. And so I've got him kind of hiding in the corner of the card here. And I use the wood grain embossing folder, and it's just a nice and easy card to put together. And then the inside, of course, just uses the sentiment that comes with the Wilderness Awaits stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to need is a piece of crumb cake paper. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then I've gone ahead and scored it at 5 1/2. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a little score line that has a valley and a mountain. We're going to fold towards the mountain. That will make sure that there's less breakage. Going to use a bone folder and just give that a little press. That will lie flat for us then while we work with it. We're going to go ahead and just stamp the inside panel first. I have some archival black ink from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to open that up, and then we're going to take the sentiment and we'll stamp that right on the inside, right here. And then for the outside panels, we are going to use two different panels. One is going to be a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic black. And I think we're going to go ahead and stamp our fox next so that we know where to tear this panel. So I'm just again inking that fox up, and we have him in the archival basic black as well. Then I'm just going to stamp him down here in the lower right hand corner, so he's kind of hidden away there. So now we're going to take this 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel of basic black, and I'm just going to tear a little segment away from this lower right portion. Just make sure that fits good, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to tear a little bit more away here in this one corner. There we go, perfect. Now we're going to take a piece of soft suede paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and what we want to do is we want to run this through the Big Shot machine, which I've already done, and I use the wood grain embossing folder. So when you pull that out of the Big Shot machine, it will look just like this. And then the next step is to go ahead and we're going to tear a little bit of that away to also reveal that fox. And we want it just a little bit bigger of a tear than what we did with the black, because we want the black to show through as one of the layers. So we can set this in here, and that looks pretty good. I think I'll tear a little bit more away from this side. So there's really no science to it. You just keep tearing until it looks good to you. That looks pretty good to me. Just maybe a little bit more up here. All right, so now we can go ahead and we're just going to secure these two panels together. To do that, I'm going to use a little multi-purpose liquid glue. I like using the glue especially with embossed paper, because there's always all those ridges in the embossed paper, and that way you know that the glue is going to get into all those different spots and help it to stay really secure. Then another thing we can do is just take our fingernail, or you could use your bone folder, and we're just going to ruffle up this black edge a little bit, give that a little bit of distressing, and then we're ready to put our ribbon on. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this wonderful chevron ribbon, and I'm really going to miss this. I'm sorry to see it go, but it is on our retirement list, and I'm just going to tape this around to the back. Once we have the chevron ribbon on, it's time to go ahead and put some linen thread on. So I have some linen thread, and we'll also tape this around to the back. It just makes it easier to do this way. We'll wrap it 3 times, and then we'll tape it around to the other side. Then I'm going to cut a little bit off and just do a tie on. And like I said, I could just have tied it around and then done the tie on, but for me, I like doing it this way because then I can move that tie on to exactly where I want it on my card. because it's movable, so you can put it wherever you want. So we'll just go ahead and trim this up. And then we'll put this onto the front of our card. So we'll use dimensionals to do that. As you can see, I've gone ahead and I've used 7 dimensionals, and then we'll just put this right here so that it is all centered into our card front. Then we'll do the For You. So I have a piece of scrap crumb cake for us to stamp on. And I've got the For You. We've inked it up in the archival black ink. I'm just going to stamp it right here. Then I'm going to take the decorative label punch that Stampin' Up! Sells, and we're just going to insert that in and center the For You towards the bottom and give that a little punch out. Now that looks a little bit long, so I'm going to just go ahead and take a little bit of that off. So we don't need very much to peek out. Then we'll go ahead and just take our multi-purpose liquid glue and we'll scoot this under the ribbon. And we'll just put it right over here. And then we can take this little ribbon tie-on and just center that right where we want it. Right over the top of the For You. And our card is complete. So here is the card I've just created. And here is the card I had done in advance. And I did want to show you one variation of this card. If you spend any time outdoors and observe wildlife, you will know that foxes tend to hide in the shadows. So I did recreate a different version of this card that has the fox in the shadows. And so I'll just show you real quick what stamps I used with that. I used the 2K set called You've Got This, and I thought this looked great. It put the fox in the shadows, and then also there was a really nice sentiment for the inside. Good things are going to happen. So let me just show you real quickly the differences between this card and this card. For this card, I kept it very clean and simple, and then for this card, I just added that shadow background here. I added the shadow background here, and I also sponged a little of the Sahara sand onto the ribbon. The Sahara sand is also what I use to stamp my shadow background. And then on the inside, again, stamped the shadow background with Sahara sand, and then added the fox and Good Things Are Going to Happen. So I like both cards. I think it just depends on who I'm giving it to. If I'm giving it to a hunter, I would probably go ahead and give them this card. That seems a little bit more realistic. But if I'm just giving it to someone who enjoys the outdoors and is not that particularly into hunting, I would probably go ahead and give them this one. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day, and thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. If you really love this chevron ribbon, I suggest you go ahead and get that before it's officially retired and not available to order anymore. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.